Hello and welcome to Dharma Talk Tuesday. So happy to see you here today. If you hear some background noise, of course, that's my dog as usual. What else would it be? Chomping on his bone, but at least he's occupied. Okay. Hearts and likes, fellow moms and dog moms, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So today we're talking about my favorite money manifesting strategy. And it's like crazy to imagine being in business without some kind of strategy. And so I don't often talk about this topic. I don't talk strategy usually. I don't talk like business usually with you, but it's a really big part of what I do inside my life that works really well and what I help my clients with. And so I thought it would be really supportive to give you an insight into some of the stuff we work on and some of the ways that we think about things so that you can start to implement it for yourself and see if it makes a difference for you. So hearts and likes if you're excited. I just realized my mascara is kind of smeared. Hearts and likes if you're excited about that. If you are ready to dive in to implement some strategy. She's got another toy. And if you know anyone who, it just cracks me up. I have to share this with you. Look at him. He is having the best old time by himself. Duke, is that your toy? Is that your toy? Oh, is that your toy? Is that your toy? Get your toy. Duke, get your toy. Isn't that the funniest thing, you guys? Okay, Duke, lay down. You gotta lay down. You gotta lay down. Come lay down. Hey, come lay down. Oh, God. All right, so as you guys are joining, pop on, say hi, give me some hearts and likes. And if you know anyone who would be grateful to learn more about this topic, go ahead and just tag them in the comments. And also you can always hit the share button on your live, or on your, you can hit the share button on this post to share on your page. All right, so I'm gonna start with like what the strategy, how I invented the strategy, how I started to use it, and how you can start to think about it, no matter what you offer, like whether you are in business, offering products, offering services, this particular strategy works for you. And I'm going to share some examples of that with you so you can have a more detailed understanding of that. So when I first started my business, I was a yoga teacher and I was working full time. I was actually on the phone with someone earlier sharing this with her. And I was teaching 11 classes a week as a yoga teacher. And I discovered that every time after I taught my sessions and gave people an opportunity to give me their names, emails, and phone numbers to connect more via email, everyone always took the chance and they were excited to receive my emails. They were excited to hear from me. They were excited to hear about events I was doing, other places I was teaching. And there were people who followed me around town locally just to take my classes. And so that was really awesome, except for the fact that I only got paid $35 an hour a class. It barely covered my gas money. And that's where I was like, oh, there has to be a better way to do this, right? And so I started to realize that there was just a demand. There was a demand for people to have a higher level of touch and a greater level of support in the yoga context, but not in the traditional sense that we'd seen up until that point. So that's a bit of insight on how I started my business model. But what I discovered was it was very easy to enroll people into that higher level of coaching and higher level of connection and support in my business after we'd worked together in person in my classes and in my workshops. And so I started to do that much more intentionally. And I realized that there is so much power to in-person connection. And it really dawned on me when I did start my online business and started to grow my list and have more of an online presence. And I noticed the difference between how much easier it was to invite in and enroll high-ticket clients who I met in person compared with the ones that I met online. And so much so that it took me about really almost a year to get good at enrolling clients who I had met online into working with me into any kind of coaching capacity. Whereas the clients that I met in person, it was quick, it was easy. And so I realized that as long as it took to become a great online marketer and as expensive as it was to do that, like at the time when I first started my business, I couldn't afford, like I was sort of like I was paying for my education, but I couldn't afford it. Like I couldn't afford to keep going like that. So I had to find another way. And that's where my workshop model was born. And it worked so well for me that I wanted to teach it to other people. I wanted to give it to other people. And so I started to do that. And so it's exactly what I do for my clients. And now they're seeing amazing results. And that's what I've been doing for the last 7 years or so. And so aren't you excited? I'm going to share with you today. I've never really shared this before in a Dharma Talk Tuesday. So I'm going to share with you today some of the details on what we do and how we do it. And let's see, I'm just noticing who's hopping on. So excited to see you guys. Stephanie, Sarah, Nikki, Julie, Kathy, Jocelyn, Duke, off. Hey, off. Okay. Keelan, woohoo. All right. So excited. Okay. So one of the things that I discovered inside my business that helped me manifest more faster was there was a way that I was manifesting that worked really well. And now I named it something. I call it the 3 pillars of manifestation. And so you've heard me talk about the other 3 pillars on Dharma Talk Tuesdays. So I'm going to talk about the 3rd pillar today. Just as a reminder, the 3 pillars of manifestations are as follows. The first pillar is yoga, which gets your body into alignment. Not going to dive into that today. I've talked about it on other Dharma Talk Tuesdays, so you can look at the archive. The second pillar is emotional cultivation, which is where you are programming your energetic blueprint in a very specific way. Again, I've talked about that on other Dharma Talk Tuesdays. Not going to cover it today. Oh my gosh, Duke, off. Come on. I'm sorry, you guys. He is being a creature tonight because it's raining. Oops. It's raining outside. Come on, off. It's raining outside, and so he hasn't gotten out to play the way that he normally does. Okay, back to the Dharma Talk Tuesday chair. Okay, Duke, you gotta lay down. Go lay down. Come on. Go get your bone. Get your bone and go lay down. It's right there. It is right over there. Look how confused he is. Go get your bone. It's right over there. Go get your bone. Get your bone. Duke, get your bone. I don't know what's happening. Okay. So, those are the 3 pillars. Sorry, I didn't get to the 3rd pillar. The 3rd pillar is taking strategic action, and that's what we're focused on in today's conversation. So there are a lot of different strategies and a lot of different ways that you can make money. There are thousands of different ways that you can make money. Some of them cost more overhead than others. Some create a higher conversion than others. Some are more expensive than others in terms of lead generation. And so what we're going to talk about today is the model that I use, that I kind of invented, to be honest with you, because out of just resourcefulness of being committed to creating the result and not knowing how to create it. And it requires no overhead, no costs, no upfront costs. And yet it creates, for my clients, it creates an 80% conversion on new people. Isn't that exciting? Do you want to hear it? How excited are you to hear it? Woo! All right, here we go. So here's how this works. It's the workshop model, okay? It's a free workshop model. And basically what happens is you help a person who has an audience, a group of people. So for example, my very first workshop was at a yoga studio. I've also done workshops at student groups at universities. I've also done workshops in apartment buildings. Like when I first started, I enrolled my apartment manager to promote a workshop for me. And so if your communication is clear and strong enough and you help that person understand what the benefit is of adding value to their audience through something that you offer for free, it becomes a no-brainer for them to say yes to you. And so they will say yes to you, and all you have to do is show up, because when you show up, they've already done all the promotion, and now all you have to do is serve them. And so that is where we implement what I call the EPIC workshop formula. And the purpose of the workshop, which is 45 minutes or 2 hours or 1 hour or somewhere in between. The purpose of the workshop is for people to leave feeling happier, feeling better, feeling more uplifted than they felt when they first arrived. And there's a certain arc that you can take them on. There's like a formula behind it. I call it the EPIC workshop formula, and that's what I teach my clients. That will really, even if you've never facilitated anything before, if you follow that formula, it's all you are is a channel, a vessel for your particular topic. So I have my clients choose a topic, right? Is the topic around wealth? Is it around love? Is it around health? So you choose a topic, and then you create an EPIC workshop formula for your particular audience, and then you deliver, okay? Here's what's great about this. At the very end of the workshop, everyone's feeling really good. There's like a big transformation of some kind that they've had with you. They're feeling really, really good. So what you do at that point is you give them an opportunity to, this is how I put it, I say you bottle up the experience. So wouldn't it be nice, I would say something like this, wouldn't it be nice to bottle up this experience and be able to take it and keep it and save it for later, to be able to return to it later? Wouldn't that be amazing? And they're like, yeah, of course it would. And that's what the free gift does. And so then you offer them, remember, all of this is free. You offer them an opportunity to sign up for your free gift, which is sort of like a guided meditation or a checklist or a quiz or a visualization or something like that, so that they can go and practice it at home after they've left the workshop. And then in order to get that free gift, they need to give you their name, email, and phone number in order to access it. Do you see how this works? And so now you get their contact information, and now you can start to send them emails. The next step in the sequence is that you start to email them. And the way that you email them is in a very specific way that nurtures the relationship. It nurtures the connection, at which point you can extend an invitation to for them to get on the phone, or so for example, I have a couple of clients who sell products, like one of them is a sugar artist. And so that's where she can start to offer her promotions to buy her amazing cakes and things, right? And so now you've got a nurtured relationship with them. And so this funnel, as we call it, is one of the reasons why I have such a high conversion. My conversion's in the 80 to 90% range. My clients have a similar conversion, 80% or so. And so like, people don't come to me to create some kind of like leveraged audience. Like, that's not what I do with people. I teach them how to create high-level money manifesting. And this is one of the ways you create high-level money manifesting. It's because the leads that you're connected with are such high quality. And so when the people that you're connected with, and what I mean by that is that those people trust you at a really high level. They really know you. You know them. Like, you just spent like 2 hours with them in person. And so when you start to communicate and talk to them and make offers to them and send emails and invite them to get on the phone and things like that, it's so much easier for them to say yes to you. And I'll just give you a couple of examples. One of my clients, she used to be a tango teacher. She's actually transitioning into working just with men as a intimacy and love coach. But she's one of the ones who is consistently at an 80% close ratio. So she doesn't need a list of like thousands and thousands of people. She does a workshop, and then she's able to close 5 to 8 of those people in a high ticket sale. Another example is one of my clients who is a yoga teacher. And so she's got her yoga following, her classes, people who show up to her workshops, and she consistently enrolls people into high ticket easily. I mean, she doesn't identify herself as like a strong salesperson or anything like that. She says she has like money stories, which is so silly. I mean, I get that it feels true to her, but the funny thing is that she enrolls so easily when she gets on the phone with people, and she doesn't have to get on the phone with that many people to create big results, right? Another example is one of the very first times I ran Maya and taught this, there was a woman, April, who lives in Australia, who ended up doing this model at her office with her work people, and she spoke to 70 people, and a good percentage of those ended up actually enrolling with her to become clients. Isn't that awesome? Another great example is one of my clients a couple of years ago, Sherelle, who is an amazing human and discovered that she really wanted to be, she's really passionate about love and relationships and becoming a love coach. And so she transitioned from being a teacher to a coach, and doing the workshops is something that really helped her. And she developed a relationship with the organization that filled the rooms for her, and they would invite her back to do workshops all all the time, and all she had to do was show up. And that's something that my clients get to experience. All they have to do is show up, because they've done a really good job of connecting with the whether it's the meetup group or the yoga studio owner or whatever, to make sure that the room is full, and all they need to do is show up and deliver and make a difference. Doesn't that sound amazing? It's such a simple way to connect with people, and you got to remember this. If you're going to remember one thing from this Dharma Talk Tuesday, let it be this: money flows through people. Like, how do you manifest money? Through people. And so if you want to make more money, connect with people in a way that is meaningful and effective and enrolling. And one of the ways to connect with people, one of the best ways in my opinion, to connect with people that is meaningful and enrolling and powerful, is through this model, through the free workshop model. So I hope this makes a difference for you. It's very simple. It's very easy to execute. For my audience in particular, who loves to do in person, it's also really fun, because a lot of my audience doesn't want to deal with the techie stuff. And so this allows you to grow your business in a way that's really fun, that feels very authentic and connected. And a lot of you are doing in-person stuff anyway. Like the girl I talked to today, she does a lot of yoga teaching and workshops and stuff like that anyway. So this just teaches you how to think about it in a way where you can start to monetize it and go from making $35 an hour, like I was doing as a yoga teacher, to making, like $300 an hour or $500 an hour, or even $100 an hour is better than $35 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work it the way that works best for you. And so I hope this makes a difference for you. I think the really key components to think of here in terms of this money manifesting strategy are, number one, remembering that this isn't, like, sometimes the hangups I see around this is people get nervous, like, I'm not good enough, I'm not qualified enough, I don't have what it takes to run a workshop like this. And you just got to coach yourself through that, and remember that as long as you're just even a couple steps ahead of the people that you're wanting to make a difference for, that's sufficient, that's more than enough. Also, to remember that if you really have a great relationship with God and you consider yourself a channel, just know that He'll channel through you, and all you got to do is show up and follow the Epic Workshop formula, right? Another thing to remember is that if you have a really compelling free gift, that can be enough to capture names, emails, and phone numbers, to capture the lead information, to start to nurture them. And then finally, just remember that it's all a process. Like, I remember my very first workshop, I had a ton of new leads, but I didn't really convert any of them into paying clients because I was still learning. I didn't really know what I was doing. And that's okay. It's part of the process to learn. I'm sending out an email tomorrow, you guys, about my experience that I had in a cycling class yesterday, which is hilarious. I can't wait for you to see it. I'll post it on my social media as well. But I talked about it a little bit on my story, if you follow my stories. And it's sort of like, one of the things that's so important to remember as an entrepreneur is that it's all a process. And the more that you can allow yourself to be uncomfortable every single day and to just embrace the journey, even the uncomfortable parts, especially the uncomfortable parts, that's going to really serve you in growing your business and manifesting amazing money results and living the life that you really, really want. So there's some mindset coaching for you as well. All right. So let me just also quickly say that if you are interested in learning more about what a workshop can do for you, or if you'd like a little bit of support on how you can take what you do or what you would like to do and turn it into a workshop, I'm opening my calendar this week and weekend to talk with just a few people one-on-one. I know, it's all very exciting. And so all you have to do is send me a direct message. So that just means go to my profile and hit the message button and just send me a quick message and just say, tell me about workshops. Because my calendar is getting pretty filled up, but I'm very happy to make time for a few of you who are interested in learning more about how this could work for you and how this can start to help you as a primary money manifesting strategy. Because if you're wanting to make money from your business, you definitely need a strategy, and think of this as a money manifesting strategy. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope this made a difference for you. Definitely comment below. Give me some hearts and likes if this resonated. The more that you give in the comments and in the hearts and likes, I feel it. It's all energy. You know what I mean? And so it allows me to be able to give and give and give. It inspires me to give more and more and more to you. So that's it. And I will see you next week on Dharma Talk Tuesday right here, 6 o'clock Pacific. Sending you so much love this evening. Bye.